For taking time out to speak with me
My
today.
pleasure.
We are here at the Dr. Martin Luther King celebration, honoring pioneers past, present, and future. Please give us your take on what it was like to work with Dr. King.
Well, gee, it's hard to sum that up in the little time we have. It's just knowing that you're with a special kind of person, someone who was different than anyone you've ever met before, who had speaking abilities unlike any you've ever heard, and who had a sense of what was required if black people were to win our freedom. Many others joined in this movement, and he's certainly not the only one, but this was a unique person, and it was magical being with him.
When you talk about the 1960s era and what was going on in that time period, how has that contrast to today's been? Do you see much change?
Oh, sure, there's change for the better and a little change for the worse. For the better, if this were then, and we were in some southern city, you and I would not be in this building. We'd not be permitted to be here. I now teach at the University of Virginia. I couldn't go to the University of Virginia in those days, much less teach there, and now it's changed enormously. So things have changed a great deal, both for the better and for the worse. For the worse, because although we made progress, and nobody denies that, we haven't made sufficient progress. In some ways, we're slipping backward. Look at school integration. Schools are more segregated now than they were when Dr. King died, and that's something that we shouldn't have let happen.
Speak to that if you could.
Pardon?
Explain what do you mean when you say schools are more...
Well, there are more all-black schools with black children only, and more all-white schools with white children only, particularly among Hispanics. School segregation is pervasive all over the country, particularly in the West Coast.
What do you think Dr. King would say today that he made domestication?
You know, that's the question that's always asked. I think he'd say, gee, why are these people making a fuss over me? I wasn't anything, I was just a humble servant. But he'd also be, I think, pleased by the progress we've made. He'd be delirious that Barack Obama is president of the United States. But he'd also be worried about this great gap between black and white income. That black people seem to be slipping further and further behind, not going further and further ahead.
Still currently working on several issues. What's the most important issue you're on right now that you're working on?
I think one of the most important issues that almost nobody works on is housing integration. Look at housing here in District of Columbia where we are. We're almost any American city. Black people live over here, white people live over here. And what that means is that the black people who live in these worst houses, with the worst facilities, the worst public services, are segregated from the best schools, segregated from the best jobs, and segregated from the best opportunities. And therefore, all of their chances to succeed to get ahead in life are segregated too. That's a big problem that we've never really addressed fully, and we need to do more about it.
Are you also concerned about the mass incarceration of African Americans?
Oh, surely, that's part of the problem. If you live in certain neighborhoods, in most cities, you live in neighborhoods where crime is progressive, and where the chances of getting arrested is multiplied just because of where you live, not because of what you do or who you are, but because of where you live.